Good morning. Today I wanna talk about vulnerability. That human touch that we defend and protect so ferociously sometimes. That thing that many people hide, repress, pretend it's not there. And if they are too successful with it, they kill their sensitivity, they repress it completely. In other words, from hiding it from other people, we get to hiding it from ourselves. But we are all made of the same fabric. DNA is made of the same material. Flesh and blood is made of the same material. Yet the psyche can be fundamentally different amongst people, right? So I just want to point out how fragile the human being is, life is in general, how beautiful life is, how full it is of contradictions, of things we don't understand, of things that nobody understands. Yet we feel certain things as truth, as threats. We have instincts. We recognize patterns in the chaos. Chaos itself brings forth order, and order brings forth chaos. I don't want to present a finished message with a moral today. I just want to speak about things like anxiety, shame, things that, or feelings, emotions that don't even necessarily have to originate in ourselves, that can even be projected onto us, or there are these dynamics. Like there are dynamics between everything in the world, right? So anxiety is something that we feel in the heart area. It has an effect on our heart rate, on the hormones, on the body chemistry, on the overall well-being. The same with shame, and I tell you something, these feelings that we feel that are uncomfortable, like anxiety and shame or regret, when we focus with our vulnerability, with how fragile life is, these things are uncomfortable, right? We tend to forget and repress these things quickly, especially when it's about responsibility and accountability in our own field. When we stumble, when we get a warning, sometimes things happen that give us a warning, because we're living in a world where I believe God is an impersonal energy. In other words, God is not coming down to earth, take away everything and make everybody feel high. That's how Bob Marley said it. He's not lifting a finger for us. Jesus, the concept, the person, the idea, the archetype, is more human than God, is more personal, is an incarnation. Alright, so we can grasp it better. In this world full of contradictions, we find ourselves as pattern recognition as as living beings who bring order into the entropy, because life creates order in a universe where entropy only rises. Life itself brings order into increasing entropy, so we are against entropy. Energy is invested to create order in entropy, and we are beings who are able to recognize patterns in the chaos, if we want it or not. From chaos comes order, from order comes chaos. It gives birth to each other. And we find ourselves in this world. And the most fruitful emotions to follow, to hold on, to go through are the uncomfortable ones. Don't skip them. Follow them. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What can I do to overcome it? I don't want you to exaggerate anxiety or shame or something, but when it happens, I'm a person that says we want to evade pain, we want to evade negative emotions. But when it happens, when it's there, it's time to go through and not repress it. Okay? It leads us to something that is deeper hidden in ourselves, to our shadow, to responsibility, to knowledge that we experience that we don't read in books. Living knowledge, exclusive knowledge, only for you. Anxiety is important. It's part of life drive. Fear protects you, but you can't be taken away by it. Right? And shame is also, it shows that you have a moral core. Okay? Because you might have done a mistake. Therefore, you feel ashamed and you seek for redemption. You might think about apologizing, you might think about adjusting your behavior. You repent, all right? So these are things that are extremely fruitful. These are character building emotions. So we're living in a world where we want to be sensitive, emotional, vulnerable, but not too much, not be taken away by it. And mercy is that thing that can bring everybody down. Sensitivity is that thing that can bring everybody down. Vulnerability is that thing that can bring everybody down, because the suffering in our world and the desperation of people is infinite. So we need ways to contain our own sensitivity, emotionality, and vulnerability, and mercy, empathy. But at the same time, it's what makes us human beings. And I want to tell you about the importance of anxiety and shame. There is not such thing like a bad or wrong emotion. We need to go through it, let them guide us when the time is there, so we can also fly weightless and light when the time is there for these emotions.